Hello everybody, I'm back with another video for you today, and this time we're going to be looking at Northern Realms. I've been having a lot of fun with an engine overload style Meve deck with quite a bit of removal as well, and it's been dealing quite nicely with the decks I've been seeing on ladder the past couple of days. So what is this deck doing? What is the idea? Well, it is of course revolved around engines. As Meve typically is, you're going to be getting a lot of value from these long round cards that you have a ton of. You know, we've got Queen Adalia counts. She's effectively copying a Revenant or some other engine a lot of the time. She is an engine herself. We've got Naneke, Okvist, Botchling, Vandergrift, Visagard. We of course have Vess, which kind of counts as one. She can give Zeal to a different engine of yours. We have Anna. We have the Trebuchets, Revenants, Artificers to kind of tank removal or give shield to your engines, and Tridems, which synergize very nicely with the new Cintrian Enchantress. Very powerful bronze card in that. And we have Kukadak to kind of protect the engines, unlock them, purify them if they run into trouble. And we have some removal in the form of Regis, Gimpy, for stuff you might run into, as well as Prince Ansays, which is very good with Meve. Of course, you can boost him and immediately get the value on that. Vincent also, for a little bit of removal, set up the Revenants, 1 point damage, of course. All in all, a pretty competent deck. You're effectively pushing them to Rose Stack with Trebuchets. You're then getting an amazing Sabrina in a long round. You're getting a lot of engine value in a long round as well from Revenants, from the other tools we have, Vandergrift, Botchling, etc. And all in all, just kind of destroying the opponent, toying with them a little bit, shielding up your guys, protecting them, winning the long round with that value that you get from Sabrina and other tools. Very fun deck. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I think it's pretty strong. Meve will definitely be one of the top decks, I do believe, as the patch develops and as we get more refined in the deck versions, just because there's so many ways to protect your guys and to have a lot of engines that are very difficult to deal with in your deck. With that being said, let's jump into a game or two and see how the deck plays. Okay, we're going to be up against Anna. Seen quite a few Anna decks around. Seen a couple trying to pull off spy synergies and stuff. Others just playing around with the Simulate. We'll see if it's actually a powerful deck. Let's get rid of one Artificer here. We have two of them, so probably don't need that many shields. That'll probably get locked anyway, a lot of our cards here, which isn't the end of the world. We do have the Sabrina and Trebuchet, which is quite a nice combo. And we have Tridem and Knighthood, which I also like a lot. We have Adalia to get the Revenant. Honestly, this hand's pretty good. I think we can keep it. We can also give shield to the Prince if we want to do that. Very powerful combo, potentially. Getting him to, you know, not take damage from the duel, of course. That is going to be an Enforcer. Okay, so it seems like spies are on the return. I'll probably talk about spies at some point. Make a deck with them or whatever. We'll see how that goes. We could play a Adalia onto Artificer here potentially as well to make sure we get the shield onto Ansays. Getting that shield onto Artificer will protect it, so that might be an option. A little bit scary, the Enforcer presence in round 1 and later in the game, of course. Duchess's Informant now copies, cards that your opponent has, so you can give them one with Operator, and you can then copy your Enforcers with the Spies. So it's a very powerful way to make that work. Definitely gonna have to give it a try myself soon. All right, what should we start with? We could go for that Adalia. I'm really terrified by the amount of points this Enforcer can bring and how much, how many of our engines can be removed by it. So maybe we should just go for Adalia onto Artificer or onto Tridem. It's another option. We could do that if we want to make sure Knighthood gets value, but I think onto Artificer is probably a little bit safer. Let's do that. Go both on back row because we want the Tridem on front on its own if we go for Knighthood, and we want the Revenant on the front as well. We won't use the boost because we want to use it onto our good friend, the Prince, potentially. Make sure he can kill the Enforcers or whatever. Ooh, that is scary. Okay, he's going to shield up the Enforcer, sure. Does mean our Artificer is going to stay around, so we don't have to pull off the Prince immediately here. We can go for another play. We probably will. Maybe Vandergrift looks quite nice. Or Tridem, either of those. Yeah, maybe Tridem. We can maybe ping off the shield and then go for Prince later on. We don't even need to use the shield necessarily here. He has used both the damaging sort of procs from that, so I think we'll just let the Tridem chill. It might be the case that we don't get much Knighthood value just because of this annoying spying unit on the row, but we'll see how that goes. So we've got Knighthood as a threatening play. We also have the Prince now. Not as good because we need to wait for Meve, so That'll come up in a turn or whatever. We can play the Revenant though, and maybe kill our own Duchess. That's quite a viable line of play as well. Lots of options here. We also want to get Vandergrift down sooner rather than later. That's going to be another Enforcer. Pretty intimidating, must be said. So I think we're happy to fire off Knighthood here, just because we're going to most likely snipe that engine, which is very good news. Yeah, we'll buff the Informant, but it doesn't really matter too much, right? So yeah, hopefully this gets the majority of the buffs. That's actually nice. It stayed out of range of Leo and such, but we did miss out, unfortunately, on killing the Enforcer. A little bit unlucky there. Still got that shield available though, and we can maybe do something nice with that in a second. Best not doing too much. He can kill the Trident if he wants. I think we're just gonna have to say, you know what, we're putting up with this value from the Enforcers. We're just gonna have to deal with it. We're gonna have to maybe play the Prince now to try push back a bit. Let's do that. Let's give him a shield. Let's you know, wreck. Oh, this is so strong, guys. Actually so strong. So he will now duel the Enforcer and basically just completely nuke an 8-point unit for free. Very powerful. He's only left with one pitiful Enforcer. Maybe another one can come out with Vess or whatever. And he hasn't played Operator yet, so still plenty of them remaining for the opponent. We want to make sure we can split them up, basically. Interesting that he didn't actually shield his Enforcer. I'm a little bit surprised by that. But okay, let's maybe go ahead and play the Revenant now. We're going to play it here to play around Milton a little bit. If we can do that, it would be nice. This might die. That's fine, I suppose. If it gets locked or whatever. There's honestly not that much that will kill it. And maybe this will be it, if you can pull some kind of damage. Like Milton or whatever. Oh, it's going to be Portal, alright. Oh, wow, and to double assimilate, dude. Very, very, very powerful. We can clean up this Enforcer, though, finally, which is feeling really good. So we'll do that. And I think putting Vandergrift down is also a good shout now. Unfortunately, we're going to be a little bit bricked on this row, but we can start killing our own units. That should be fine. We'll give a little buff to him. Make sure he's sticking around. Those shielded units are not very vulnerable to Sabrina, so it's definitely got that going for him, the opponent. We can play Artificer or the Trebuchet next. Maybe Trebuchet. Okay, gonna take the Revenant and maybe even use it immediately, get the value from it with Vess. That's pretty powerful. Not bad at all. But we can damage a unit by 1, and that means we could play Sabrina here and actually clean up this Revenant, should we want to do that. Not sure we need to. Yeah, it probably is worth it. Let's go Sabrina. We can, of course, copy our Revenant and then finish off the other Revenant here with our Vandergrift. Nice engine value. Is going to push a win on even here if the opponent can't do anything about it. Still got Trebuchet to play and all this other stuff as well. Trebuchet just got a lot worse though, because they can now, of course, play in a different row, so gonna have to keep that in mind. Maybe mulligan it here. But we're looking pretty okay, I think. Let's maybe get rid of at least one of the Trebuchets here. Maybe get rid of one Artificer as well. Not too strong. Since we won on even, I think we're pretty happy to push and maybe try to bleed that Anna Henrietta from the opponent. Let's play the Artificer first so we can, you know, either tank removal or shield up a Revenant or whatever. Botchling. Really nice, like, play that it doesn't really matter if it dies, but it also gets you a ton of value if you're able to protect something. Very nice. Big fan of this card. It seems really powerful for Northern Realms. Lady of the Lake is also another one that is similar in terms of what it does for this kind of engine deck, and I was playing around with it. Might be worth including, but decided to take it out for other things. Alright, there's a Diviner. I think we're pretty happy to play a Trebuchet actually now and give it a shield. It's going to just be a nice engine that is vulnerable to removal, but not anymore. Only locks are going to deal with that, thankfully. And we can then go with Botchling. Put a lot of pressure on here, I think. Since we won on even. If we didn't, we'd probably go for the pass and see if we could win the longer round, but I think we're in a pretty comfortable position to push here. Okay, and the opponent's going to commit their leader already, so deciding that they want to get that long round value from some of the cards we have. Now, I think we're pretty chill at. We're pretty, fine to just pass if we want to, but I actually think I might get rid of a couple of weaker cards. The Centurion Enchantress and the Revenant are examples of those, so let's maybe play Revenant. I'm going to keep this. It might be good later with the other one that we have in the deck. Very unlikely we're going to win the round now, because they have used their whole leader, along with a couple of other good cards, so really we're just kind of getting good resources from the opponent at this point and feeling really good about life. We could probably play that Enchantress as well, I think. Yeah, this should be fine. We'll give the boost to the Trebuchet. And I think we should be in a pretty damn good spot to win at this rate. Not very much Assimilate kind of synergy left in the opponent's deck. Leader's down. There's a few things that are scary, like Damien maybe, if we can't answer it. We don't have much. Saying that, the rest of our deck is looking pretty hot. A lot of good cards like Neneke, these guys, whatnot. Some weaker ones for sure, but let's pass. The longer the round 3, the more value we get from Meve. We don't want to have a brick to Meve if possible, so we're going to be able to use it 3 times in round 3, which is pretty good. Going to have a Botchling and an Ocvis going off for reasonable amounts of points, hopefully. And we've seen a lot of good cards from the opponent. Some pretty damn good cards in hand as well. We could mulligan the Trident. It could be quite powerful here. It might also be bad though, so get rid of it and see if we can find something better. Enchantress, not really very good, but not the end of the world. Not the end of the world at all.
I divined this move from a sparrow's
Okay, Diviner comes down. We can play Botchling. Probably onto the back row because Neneke is row locked and we might want to get Anna down, the turn after or whatever. Looking pretty good, I must say. Diviner's not a very good play for round 3 unless he has maybe Damien. Damien could be quite nasty into sort of stealing Ocvist or whatever. But then again, Anna value here is going to be nuts. Maybe using the buff there was wrong because we could have swapped into Lubberkin and then boosted, but don't think it really matters too much.
A shame I have no time.
And we end up, yeah, that wouldn't have worked because there's an Emissary on the board. Alright, we'll go with the Neneke now. And then Anna the turn after. Start boosting all our homies. That's a very big Imperial Diviner. But is it big enough? We get the Assimilate proc. Assimilate definitely has the potential to be good. I will say that much. It surprises me a little bit. But then you're playing cards like this, which, not really amazing. Not too great, to be honest. Let's go ahead and, of course, boost the Anna a little bit. We'll make sure she doesn't die to anything, and we'll probably put her to 7 strength. I think that should be a safe number. Dodging most damage and whatnot. And we'll start boosting all our guys. We do play right into Igni, but Igni isn't really a card that people play, right? It's fine. Gonna be a Blue Dream. Interesting. That's another card that synergizes with Assimilate. Pretty nice, yeah. I mean, Assimilate is very scary if you have that round with all of the engines just going off, but it doesn't happen that often, I feel. Gimpy Gerwin gonna come from the counter on it, alright. Yeah, it's not really that good though, is it? We're still pretty far ahead in points. And we can do this, make sure we allow Botchling to survive, get that boost to 6, make it very difficult to kill Ocvist, and should be fine. Not a problem. Anna, you can get out of here. Let's go on to the next opponent and see if we can do that again. Alright, we're going to be up against Detlaf this time. Going to see if we can beat the higher vampire himself. Alright, what's our hand looking like? We have double Trident, which I'm not a huge fan of. Let's get rid of one of them. Enchantress plus Adalia is pretty strong, potentially. So we might want to keep that. Trebuchet I'm not sure we need, so let's get rid of it. A lot of gold engines in hand. We can throw that Botchling out, Visigoth and whatnot this round, potentially, which could be quite powerful. Foglet going to be the opener for the opponent. Let's play Botchling. Or do we want to play Botchling? I think we do. It might get answered, but I think that's okay. Shouldn't really matter which row we go on, I don't think. So let's go on back row. We can boost it up, why not? Might make it harder for him to kill. Often they're going to go for like a Regis and then Detlaf proc onto this to kill it. God, I love his animations, they're so slick. Gets his claws out. Okay. We need Cyclops to kill the botchling. It's quite annoying for us. But we have more where that came from. Let's maybe go with Vandergrift now. Another engine on the board. We could also go Naneke. Actually, I prefer Naneke, I think. Because we've got Tridem next turn, potentially. And then the Enchantress coming out. And it's going to be quite hard for him to deal with, hopefully. He might be able to deal with Naneke, but 6 points is pretty beefy. It's definitely more beefy than 5. 4 plus 2 from Detlef deals with a 6-point engine, so he definitely has that control, you know, nailed, does Detlef. But thankfully Tridem's going to stick, so could definitely play that now. We're going to get that Naneke value, which is really, really good news. And we can Meve as well. And then maybe Adalia onto Enchantress, or we can save Adalia for later. It's kind of up to us. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think this round won't go on long enough to get the value from all of that bond sort of tag. So let's just play the Enchantress vanilla here. Not too bad, so we're now getting 2 points for a couple of turns. Pretty cool. There's going to be a Moondust purifying that unit. Okay. Not a card I've seen too much, to be honest. Let's go ahead and play Vandergrift. Another Meve proc. This card's not looking too great right now, but once we find a round with Anna in, I'm sure he will be. Looking pretty nice. And we're going to get the pass from the opponent there, which is very good news. I think we want to play Vincent. Not a very good card in this matchup. Weirdly, they don't have many big dudes, these monster players. Used to be the case that they did, but not anymore with Detlef being a thing, it seems like. Alright, what do we got? What juicy cards have we got here? We've got Artificer. It's not amazing here. It's certainly not amazing. I think I'm going to mulligan it. Sabrina's also not amazing in this particular hand. Let's get rid of it as well. We kind of need to bleed, which is a little bit awkward against these good old Detlef players. Don't really want to walk right into Crimson Curse or the Higher Vampire. Then again, maybe we can do it. You know what? For science, let's see if we can beat Detlef in a long round. I think if they have Crimson Curse, we're in trouble, but otherwise we might have a chance. Got a lot of engine power, of course, in this deck, so in theory our long rounds are pretty damn good. Just need to get there, which we've managed to do. Alright, Regis is a definite, you know, nice draw. I love seeing that. Knighthood works really well with Visigoth, so we're also happy with that one, I think. Rest of the hand's pretty good. I think we may as well keep all of this. Queen Adalia can of course be used onto Revenant. Got the Visigoth synergy and got a lot of other powerful removal cards to destroy any engines they might have. Spear Tip gonna be the opener. Okay, so a bit more, you know, vanilla monster feel. Fair enough. We could probably open with Adalia. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all here. Doesn't seem like there's a reason not to. We can throw that onto front row and then we boost Adalia, I think. We're going to want to Knighthood the row with all the Revenants on, which will be front row, because then we can split the boost between all the unboosted units, get more Visigoth value, hopefully. I've seen Visigoth honestly get up to like 7-8 damage, which is incredibly strong with that Knighthood proc, so definitely got some synergy going on there, which is awesome to see. Looks like he wants to kill this Revenant. Gonna waste a bit of damage on the shield, which is pretty good news. And use a Regis as well, sure. Maybe not the best news for us, but definitely not the end of the world. Can go with another Revenant, I think. Just kind of baiting out removal for Anna to thrive. If Anna is able to go off a lot of points, we're going to be in a great spot here, I think. Most likely he'll have enough removal to kind of deal with it, but we'll see, won't we? Alright, so we're bleeding. Don't think that's the end of the world, really. Might be worth just playing a Vest now, or an Anna. Kind of like Anna, to be honest. Let's play Anna. Just start boosting away. Don't need to fire off a shot, I don't think, here. That Revenant won't be at threat of dying or anything too, you know, that much. Anna's gonna die, though, unfortunately. Kind of could be expected, I suppose. We've got the Kukadak, but I don't think we need to use it on 2 bleeding. It's kind of maybe a waste. We could boost with Knighthood on the front row. kind of want to boost multiple units if possible though, so maybe we play Vest now. Yeah, I like Vest. Can of course copy the unit. And we've got Prince to maybe get another Revenant or whatever, we'll see. If we could boost all these and then get Visagard value along with, you know, Revenant, would be very, very nice for us. Queen of the Night, that's going to be answered very nicely from Kukudak, so I like that. Let's purify that immediately, I think. Make sure they don't get too much value on that ability. Why not? I think we'll just boost the Revenant. Hopefully that won't die here. It might. We're a little bit far behind in points and there's Death still available, so this is very scary, but not over yet by any means. That's a very early Lacerate. Does mean he kills the Revenant though, so, you know, maybe pretty good news for him. And Vest's gonna die, alright. Unfortunately, we don't have any, anything to row punish here. That would have been very nice. What have we got now then? We could go Okvist. It might die, I'm a little bit worried about that. It might also not. I think we've seen a lot of removal at this point, it's probably going to be safe. We can go with Knighthood maybe. That's going to be an Oriana though, that is very, very scary. I think we can play Prince and deal with it. We could also play Regis and fire off the Okvist, but we might need to be greedy with this. Thing is the Garkin... I guess it won't kill it. It's kind of okay then. Might be a little bit greedy, but I think we have to go for greed here to actually win. We're a little bit far behind at the moment. Okvist shouldn't really die to that much here. Be surprised if they have more stuff that can deal with that. Now we could kill this if we expect another Plumard, but the Plumard at this point isn't getting too much value, so let's just Knighthood, protect our guys a little bit. Hopefully get some Visagard value. Unfortunately, a lot of our buffs went on a Dahlia there. That's not great. So Visagard only going to be worth, you know, a couple here. And there is the Plumard, but it's a bit late, so I don't think that's actually too much of a problem. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I could have got another proc by Meving first. Fail. I think we'll be okay here, though. Maybe not, actually. That bleeding is hurting. We're bleeding! Bleeding out. Bruxa, though, that's a very weak play. Just saved all his bad plays for last, really, there, so we're fine. Get the Okvist off, get the Regis, and our long round was better than his. Feels pretty good. Get that win. Although, bit of a weird deck he was playing. Definitely a bit scary when all our engines got removed, but the Okvist power is there still, and I even misplayed a little bit, but whatever, you guys didn't see that. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Do subscribe for more videos. I'll be covering, of course, more decks the coming days, and maybe even a meta snapshot or two down the line. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.